You know, the last year of Britney Spears' life has just been out of control with mood swings, some erratic behavior. So it's leading a lot of people to speculate that possibly she has bipolar disorder. So what do you do if you think someone you know may have bipolar disorder? It's how to cope with it. What can you do? Are there medications out there? Here to help us out here is the author of Loving Someone with Bipolar Disorder, Julie Fast. Julie, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Well, we're using Britney as kind of an example because she seems to be exhibiting some really outrageous signs that she may be bipolar. I mean, just they're right in your face kind of signs. Because a lot of people have determined it's not drugs or alcohol because she was tested, right?
Right. Well, bipolar disorder is a mood disorder that makes it difficult for you to regulate your emotions. And so when someone has bipolar disorder, they go all over the place because they can't control themselves. And so when you see her shave her head on camera, you're like, whoa, that doesn't fit in with normal behavior.
I think that was the time when a lot of people started saying something's seriously wrong here.
And then she had the MTV performance where she was like this. And
well, she's well into her 20s. If she were bipolar, wouldn't that have been diagnosed by now by medical or medical professionals?
Oh, it depends on what kind of bipolar disorder you have. I was diagnosed at 31. So there are types of bipolar disorder where you're out of control by the age of 19. And then there are types like I have where you can literally go your whole life just being considered crazy or out of control and depressed.
So there's a constant up and down that she's going through. This kind of, it's almost manic, isn't it, what she does? Could it be something else? Could it be postpartum? Because a lot of this onset after she had children.
It could definitely be postpartum, except that these symptoms that she's showing are the symptoms that all of us with bipolar go through. I haven't shaved my head, but I've laid down in the middle of the road, for example, or made decisions, gone to China without telling anybody.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes. It's what she's doing is normal. It looks abnormal, but to those of us with the illness and those of us who treat the illness, it's not abnormal.
Okay, so erratic behavior is a big sign. Increase in spending.
Most definitely.
And what did you spend a lot of money?
Oh, I bought a $5,000 chair once.
Wow.
Imagine walking into your apartment and somebody you know says, "Where'd you get that lazy boy?" And I'm like, I just bought it. So we had to take it back. It was pretty constant.
An increase in inappropriate sexual behavior as well.
That's so common with mania. It wrecks marriages, it wrecks lives, especially if you do it on camera. You know, she went out without wearing underwear. She's having an affair with a married man. And so many people would
for those who
judge
don't know,
that.
the paparazzi that she's dating is a married man. And it's so clear that he's using her, but she seems to be okay with this.
But there is no such thing as okay. If she has bipolar disorder, there's no okay because you can't understand or see your behavior.
So as we talk about Britney, but this could apply to so many people out there. She is an adult. She's a legal adult. If she doesn't seek help, how does she get help?
It depends. If she becomes a danger to herself or others, you can put her into the hospital. That legally, someone can put her into the hospital. Usually a family member.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless she's
and she hasn't spoken to her parents in a year.
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
For both of them.
So we talked about inappropriate behavior, suicidal behavior.
Absolutely. Let's say, when someone is really, really high, they can either be agitated or euphoric. If you're agitated, you can take your car and run into someone. You can take your car and run it into a pole. But when you get depressed, you usually try to do self-harm you can actually do it in cars too, in a way to end the pain. It's not because you want to end your life, you want to end the pain. So the amount of pain that she's going through, lots of times suicide seems as an option. Because it's like it would end the pain that she's going through.
Interesting, one of the other symptoms that's talked about is excessive creativity.
But she doesn't seem to be very creative now, does she?
No, not at all. Not even with the way she shaved her head. But most people would see that not as a symptom, but as something successful. Look at how prolific they are. And could that be music, art? Would it be something that people recognize as creative?
There's many people who can be manic, which is the high episode, for long periods of time and not spin out of control. There's a lot of speculation that some of the really famous people who only sleep 3 or 4 hours a night and could do 3 television shows and have 6 kids, etc., could have a form of mania. But creativity almost always becomes out of control creativity when the mania gets too high or the depression gets too low. So it's not happy creativity after a while.
All right.
It's very productive.
A couple
but it
other things too, saying strange things, and then the person disappears. You talked about taking off there. We want to mention again, the book is called Loving Someone with Bipolar Disorder. Some really good tips on figuring out if maybe someone you love does have the disorder. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to put the information too on our website.